Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Nightwalkers and Mystery Mongers, Lesson 7. In the last class, we have discussed about the method of science. Evidence is of supreme importance in science. If we find errors, it should be corrected and should move forward. It is with such evidences that we disprove pseudo-scientific claims. So, we are moving on to para 24 and 25. Many pseudo-scientific claims are not based on experiments but based on hearsay, so they are not reliable. However, Carl Sagan says that they should not be avoided. For example, stones falling from sky was once regarded as false statements. They were thought to be pseudo scientific claims. However, but such events are scientifically possible. Meteorites actually fall from sky. Similarly, when we approach scientifically, prejudice should be avoided. What is actually prejudice? Prejudice mean prejudice means rejecting something before examining the evidence. In order to find out the truth, we must approach the question with an open mind, without any prejudice. We shouldn't reject something without examining the evidence. So, in order to find truth, we should approach the question with an open mind. If we examine the evidence and reject something, if we examine the evidence and reject something, it is not prejudice. We can call it post judice. There is not a word like post judice, but it is a word coined by Carl Sagan. Post judice. Post judice is essential for acquiring knowledge. That is, we should be doubtful of everything. We shouldn't believe anything right away. We should believe it only after experimenting it and finding it true. So, pseudoscientific claims are often based on hearsay. You cannot believe it right away. Only after experimentation we will be able to. But we shouldn't avoid it, because meteorites were once thought to be stones falling from sky. It was once thought to be a pseudoscientific claim. You can see the image of meteorites falling from the sky. Para 26. We use critical examination in every day-to-day affairs. The same method is used in science as well. For example, when buying a used car, we generally test drive and check the parts, right? Then why shouldn't we use the same approach when dealing with the pseudoscientific claims? See, critical examination is done in everyday life. We examine everything very closely. If we are buying something, a used car or a used machinery, we will be testing it to find out whether it is working or not. The same approach should also be used in dealing with dealing with pseudoscientific claims. Some people who claim to have extrasensory perception say that their ability decline when someone watches them closely. Some people say like this. If somebody is observing very closely, they will decline their ability. A magician called Uri Geller could bend keys and kitchen tools with his hand. Was offended to perform before doubtful people. When we discard observation and discussion, truth is hidden. A very interesting and important statement. When we discard observation and discussion, truth is hidden. When criticized, Such people means these people who were followers of pseudoscientific claims. When criticized, such people claim that geniuses of the past were ridiculed, teased, laughed at like them. It is true that many geniuses were ridiculed in the past, like Christopher Columbus, who discovered America, Wright brothers who invented aeroplane. They were laughed at that time. However, later they were identified. But that doesn't mean that all who were laughed at were geniuses. So this was a claim put forward by the followers of pseudoscientific claims that many geniuses of the past were ridiculed like us, they say. But that doesn't mean that all those people who were laughed at were geniuses. So moving on, para 27, a long paragraph. See, Carl Sagan lists some wonders of science here. Bullet points are given. See, a type of African fish, African freshwater fish, is blind, but it generates an electrical field with which it catches prey, escape from enemies, and communicate with other fish of same species. This ability of the fish was unknown to ancient man. Isn't it really a wonder of science? Then another condition. There are some arithmetical conditions in which 1 plus 1 does not equal 2. We don't know much details about that. However, mathematically, such a condition exists. Pigeons, a type of bird. Pigeons have a sensitivity to magnetic field strengths. Pigeons use this sensitivity for traveling and to sense their surroundings. It is said that pigeons or doves, they have an ability they are sensitive to magnetic fields. They use this sensitivity for traveling, to sense objects, surroundings, etc. Then there are celestial objects called quasars. Quasars, they look like stars. They emit bright blue, ultraviolet light and radio waves. I will show you the picture of quasar. See, this is it. So there are celestial objects like quasars. They emit ultraviolet light. In the hardened volcanic lava in East Africa, a footprint of a huge creature is found. Near to it, found footprints of another animal whose identity is not yet found. See, a footprint seen in hardened volcanic lava in East Africa. Then human cells contain mitochondria, which produces energy. It was found recently that once mitochondria were free organisms. Thus, we can say that we are, in fact, not a single organism but a composition of a number of organisms. See, this is mitochondria, the powerhouse of cell, which is present in human cells. See, mitochondria is regarded as a powerhouse of the cell, which produce energy. So it is said that it is recently found that mitochondria were free organisms and later became part of cells. Then planet Mars has a volcano almost 80,000 feet high. It is assumed that Venus also have an has an even larger volcano. Then, modern radio telescopes have identified some black body in space. Black body is an object or surface which absorb all radiant energy that falls on it. They are thought to be the result of explosion called Big Bang, which resulted in the creation of life. So radio telescopes have identified black body, uh, which is an object or a surface which absorbs all radiant energy that falls on it. They are thought to be the result of the Big Bang. Big Bang, an explosion which is uh, which resulted Big Bang, which is thought to be the origin of life on Earth. So, paragraph the last, para 28. The list of wonders of science is endless. Such a superficial listing of the wonders of science are far exciting than pseudoscience. When we read a list like this, uh, we can see that they are far more interesting than the pseudoscientific claims. Such practitioners were disapproved even in the 5th century BC by a philosopher named Heraclitus. He called them Nightwalkers, magicians, priests of Bacchus, followers of drunkenness, followers of wine, mystery mongers. It is from this statement that Carl Sagan takes this title. Science reveals a richer universe which evokes wonder in us. Science has another quality too, the quality of being true. So that is how, quite dramatically, Carl Sagan ends the chapter. He says that an important quality of science is that quality of being true. So, thank you for listening. We are stopping here.